Hey guys, welcome back to Rookie Roost. Today I'm going to be continuing on with the venting system and building a ladder. I'm tired of struggling to get in and out of the loft, and I'll be getting in and out of the loft a lot more now. So the ladder I'm going to build isn't anything too crazy. It's actually going to be a pretty simple design. It probably won't end up being the final ladder that I build for the house. It's going to be at a pretty steep angle so that it's actually fixed onto the loft and attached to the floor without being actually in front of the door. I can show you what I mean over on SketchUp. So here is the ladder, and you can see there's a lot of other concept stuff hanging out in the house right now. Let's just shut all of that off. And so the framing is right here. So this is where the front door is, or the only door. And so the ladder comes just to the edge of that. I was thinking it might be nice to have a ladder that's at a bit more gradual of an angle so that you can kind of walk up it a lot easier. I may end up doing something like that later when the house is closer to being finished. With a design like that though, you'd have to kind of unhook it from up here and push it back, so you need some kind of a mechanism for quickly getting it on and off. So we'll see how comfortable this is at this angle. If it works, I'm just going to keep it like that and still probably make another ladder that will look better later. So a pretty simple design. I'm just going to hammer that out before even touching any more of the vent stuff. If you're new here, I'm Sean, and this series just follows the day-to-day life and build of a tiny house on wheels. So in the last video, I finally cut open where the vents are going to go, and as you can see since then, I've added this block. I'll explain and add to that block a little later on. So every cut I need to make for this ladder is going to be at 9 degrees. So first I'm going to start with the posts of the ladder, which means just lobbing off one end to get my 9 degrees, measuring out the length that it needs to be, and cutting it at the other end. Gotta plug these things in. That's the angle of the ladder. I mean, you can climb a ladder straight vertically, so this will be doable. You never can trust wood, you know, things are always bent and curved. So I've already changed my mind on something. I was gonna make the steps 20 inches wide. I'm gonna make them 15 inches wide. The 20 inches would have gone right from the edge of the step down into the living room, and that would span all the way across to the actual framing of the house. That would be obviously too big to work in a finished house, which would have some interior siding and some trim and all that. So I'm gonna make the ladder in a way that can actually be used until the house is 100% finished, just in case that's how it goes. Alright, done with this for now. Now I'm going to zip all these steps through the table saw at a 9-degree angle, just so that the face of them lines up with the slope of the ladder. So that's the front of the ladder. This goes on just like that. So now I need to cut out the chunk that's going to create the sort of hook part. I'm going to try to do that mostly with a circular saw. And I'll have to do that on both of the poles, the long pieces on the side. What do you call those? So I've got 6 rungs, so I'm going to cut 12 little blocks for the rungs to stick. And I have a lot of leftover 2x2 to do that with. Alright, time to put it all together. 8 and 19, 30 seconds. 19:30 seconds. Ugh. And then from there, go up 10 inches. Each rung is going to be 10 inches from the last. That reminds me of the roof rafters trying to use a speed square as a protractor, and apparently the plastic ones are garbage. That's all I've got. Ah yes, robot work. Robot work is anything super repetitive that you could easily program a machine to do. I kind of use it as a derogatory term. Of course, one day everything will be robot work. Then we'll all be free to just paint and sing all day long. And I'm sure the robots will paint and sing along with us, if they hadn't already deemed us unnecessary and just exterminated us all. Okay, those are all on. This is some boring stuff. Oh. That is one solid ladder. As long as it functions like a ladder, which it seems to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that. I wonder how high up it could go. 1, 2,
It's a perfectly balanced ladder. Three. Oh shit. Oh! I broke my screw box.
Oops. But the ladder's okay.
Ooh. Better in the ladder than in me. Yeah, alright, let's go put it inside.
Right. Needs a little shimming under one side. For some reason, the chop saw didn't cut them at the same angle. Or maybe that one's slightly shorter. I don't know. Either way, it's what you'd expect from me. As soon as I step off of this, it's gonna move a little bit because this board down here still needs to get drilled into the actual floorboard, and because this piece of plywood is actually bowed, it pops it up a little bit and you can feel it go down when you step on it. So there's that. But I'm gonna pop some screws into all of this and just kind of get it solid there and then give it a little test climb. I'm a little bummed about my screw container. Not intended for that to happen. I think it needs to be away from the wall to give your hand enough room to easily grab it. I'm screwing another block up to the top here to give yourself something to hold on to as you go up. So there it is. Easy enough. Like to be able to go down forward, but still can. It's really solid. I haven't figured out my food situation yet, so tonight I dine well. Least favorite stuff in the world. This stains and is forever staining. I feel horrible. Okay, which one's the good piece of plastic? The one I'm crushing. Okay, so I need to put... Gotta think of what I'm gonna say before I start talking. That's always a mistake. So I need to install a loft here because it's going to house the ERV. And before I put anything on this wall, I want to stick some vapor barrier there so I don't have to take it back off later. Before I put vapor barrier on, it's Acousti-Seal. So here we go. Goopy mess. I'm gonna get a paper towel to clean up my mistakes. This shit will f*** your day up. It'll f*** it right up. Am I doing this right? I don't know. There's probably no real need for zigzag. See, I shouldn't have done that. If I ever touch that, it's gonna ruin my day. Yes, I'm hoping this kind of just glues on here. Seems to. Those staples will all come out once I match it up to the piece of poly that will go on the rest of the wall. Overall, this should do the trick. Be able to put the 2x6 that goes here, no problem. No problem. Alright, so we got one joist to put in. And I'm going to be using some joist hangers to do it. When cutting the joist that goes here, I made it a 1/4 inch smaller than the span here, hoping that that's enough to accommodate for 2 sets of the hanger's actual thickness plus the screw head that pokes out. But I wouldn't be surprised if I have to trim it down. Yeah, you just really want to use that hole now. Sure. Okay, let's see if it fits. You would think giving it 1/8 of an inch on either side would be enough. Or I guess I would think. And I would be wrong. I would be so wrong. And I need to cut off like another 1/4 inch maybe. That is crazy. Oh, it's my final joist. Taking the whole house, so I can't even use my new knowledge. Huzzah! Could call it a little high over there. Perfect over there. I wonder if that's gonna look dumb. Moses in that space a bit. This whole thing was an afterthought. Because the ERV was an afterthought, but came across the apparently common problem of not having tiny houses vented properly after we had already begun building. And from what I could tell, this was literally the only spot in the entire house where I could put the ERV, and even that's questionable because it's not supposed to be near a cooking surface. There's gonna be a cooking surface right there, and I would like to put the ERV right above the middle of the window because I have pot lights that go in the kitchen. There's gonna be 4 of them, and they'll go all around the ERV. And then I'll have the ability to put some cabinets or whatever going up on that side. If I want maybe cabinets on this side, I was thinking that it would be kind of cool to have this as an area for stuff that hangs, like coats or a suit or something. You know, like an entrance hall closet. Can't really always rely on a level in a tiny house because Your house has to be perfectly level. I mean, you can make your house perfectly level, but I know mine's not. The bubble is slightly to the right. Basically the same. I'm calling that area up there the attic. It's the most attic-like place in the entire house. It's going to have an attic appliance, which is the ERV. And anything I store up there is probably going to be like long-term storage. Still pretty high up, I guess it's not too bad. So this is approximately 24 inches out from the wall. And the ERV needs to be installed at a place that is 16 to 19 inches. So you need to add on a little bit of framing to get it narrow enough. So I'll be doing that, but I don't want to do it until I'm ready to actually put the ERV in, just to make sure I really am going to put it centered on this window. And since it's a pretty big appliance, I think I'm going to wait till I have help for that. Although I could probably just attach a couple of temporary blocks to hold it there. We'll see. Either way, I'm done for today. So I didn't really plan this, but it's happening. So I thought maybe this will be a good time to camp out in the tiny house. I made this decision about 2 hours ago, and here we are. So I'm basically just camping. Got just a sleeping bag on a little mattress here. Nothing fancy. Didn't brush my teeth here or wash up in any way. Did all my nighttime stuff back at home, so, you know, I literally just showed up and set up camp. There's a bit of a hum in the warehouse. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up right now. It's not that bad. I can certainly sleep through it. I mean, I've slept next to enough electronics in my life that I kind of can drown most of that stuff out. Other than that, it's really quite quiet here. I mean, there's no one around. Not sure how I feel about sleeping underneath exposed insulation. It's probably not a big deal. When it comes down to it, though, I could really finish my ceiling off right now. Since nothing goes into it, it's just got to get covered in vapor barrier and then whatever I use as a ceiling, which I'm still not quite sure about. If I figure it out, I could just do it. Anyways, if all goes well, I'll just sleep a good 8 hours or so and see you in the morning.
And good morning. I slept fine, and why wouldn't I? There's nothing going on here.
So I basically have a lot of research to do now. Electrical has to happen. I'm very close. I have almost figured it all out. So I'll probably start the next video with a little walkthrough of what my plans are for that. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and comment, and check the description below for links to things like my Patreon account and the Rookie Roost website. See you next time at the Roost.